On a weary line.
Alright, so I've arrived at my location, which is Waterfalls. I've been here in previous videos, and it's looking good today. There's a nice pool of orange leaves in the foreground, so I'm going to do some long exposure stuff with that. And yeah, it looked like there wasn't going to be much fall color, but there's a lot of fallen leaves. I'd love to talk to you guys as I take the photos, but there's a portrait photographer doing a shoot down there, so that would be kind of weird just to be the only one down there with them talking to myself on the camera. So yeah, I'm going to go down there and make some photos, and maybe if they leave I'll film a bit.
I'll keep my status quo up here, won't let anybody come near. I'll fix it on my own. 29 years I've been the same, trying so hard to run from shame. But how long can I keep up the pace? To fool myself I don't need grace.
I promise that on my next location, or the next place I go to within, Cuyahoga as a whole in this video, I'll film it. But just to give you a rundown of that photo, that was a 30-second exposure, and I think I was at f8, and I was using a 6-stop neutral density filter and also a polarizer to take the glare off of the water, and that's how I got that shot.
Will you be there to catch my fall? Need to be sure you'll hear my call.
Alright guys, so I was filming underneath this bridge, and then we saw some cool stuff over here. And I found like a small composition where the water leads, I don't know if you can see it that well, from that little bunch up of rocks into the background. And right now I'm at about like 60 millimeters or so. But I don't think I'm going to use a polarizer. However, I will use a 6-stop neutral density filter to get some smoother water. So I'll show you how that photo works out. And yeah, this isn't very far from the waterfall we were just at. Okay, I got my filters and stuff. Gonna put this in here. My 6-stop neutral density filter. I do have my polarizer attached to the front of it at all times just because it's easier, but I'm probably going to make sure that it doesn't have an effect because I'm getting some nice reflections. Also, the light on the scene is changing, so I'm not sure how it'll turn out, but I guess I'll just find out. Alright, so I've got my shot, and ooh, actually the lighting is where I want it to be. The lighting fell off of the spot where I want it to be for a little bit, and now it's back, so let me see if I can get this. Alright, so back to what I was saying. I'm basically out here because I have a photography assignment, and that assignment is to create 40 images of some theme that has to do with the outdoors, which is kind of my strong suit. And I also need 2 prints, but what's not my strong suit is taking 40 images in one day, so I might have to come out to another location, because I usually like to spend a lot of time on each shot making sure that they can be the best that they can be. So I might have to do this several more times, not at this location, but at other ones. And I think this photo is turning out nicely as well. So, 2 out of 40 shots.
And I'll say I didn't know better, but the truth is I was weak and scared, afraid of the blame. 29 years I've been the same, trying so hard to run from shame. And I will not keep up the pace. To fool myself I don't need grace. Will you be there to catch my fall? Need to be sure you'll hear my call. Darkness surround me and I don't know why it's so hard to let go.
it's really changed a lot since we last came here, and the water level is significantly lower due to the fact that it was really warm in the last week or so, and it's starting to get into fall now. But yeah, we can just hike right up the waterfalls. No water gear needed, and it's kind of is a small problem that there isn't that much water because there's less running water for me to photograph. But I think I'll have to focus on the smaller compositions. Okay, so this is a spot we've been coming back to a couple times since this last winter when we found it. It's an off-trail spot, and if you're wondering, I'm in Cuyahoga National Park right now, so basically what I've found, since the water level is kind of low, is this close-up composition where I actually do have some white water, and it's basically leading your eye down from these leaves down to that puddle down there. And it's really cool because the leaves are really nice and green, and some of them are orange, and then there's just enough water for a long exposure to look pretty neat and for it to guide your eye down it. So I guess this is some good practice for intimate compositions. Alright, let's see how this looks. Okay, that's really overexposed. Okay, so I kind of got the lighting that I wanted on the scene. For my filters, I'm using a 6-stop neutral density filter and a polarizer, which I've turned part of the way, because I want a bit of the reflection off the water, but I also want to see a bit of the dark rock underneath. Right now I'm at an aperture like f14 because my depth of field is significantly decreased the more I'm zoomed in. So I need to make up for that with a smaller aperture. So that's kind of what my settings are. I'm at about 15 seconds. And I think the scene's going to look nice, so I'm going to go find some other stuff as well. Okay, so we kept hiking, and we got back to this waterfall, which is actually the main waterfall that people come here for. And this is the original trail. And we just went down the river and then hiked back up. So I'm not sure what we're going to do now, but I might try to find a photo here. So our main problem with getting waterfall photos right now is there's almost no water at all. So we've decided to go back to the place we were at this morning, Blue Hen Falls, because there are a lot more shots there that I could have taken, but I didn't because of the portrait photographers. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of children and families there, but I'll try to see what I can do. And that waterfall has a good amount of water still running down it.
I've been alone before, but never with you. Your mind is not where your heart is. Tell you, you're gonna be alright. It's not a wish, it's a promise. It's a different kind of lonely. It's a different kind of sad. 'Cause we got no more if only. And we start to feel bad. It's a different kind of sadness. It's a different kind of fear. Now we're stuck in this weightless, and the end is getting near, so I'm moving on.
So I was back at Blue Hen Falls, which was the waterfall that I started at in the video, and I composed my shot, and I got some nice long exposures with the leaves swirling around in the pools in the foreground. But I almost got to film, but then a family showed up, so I couldn't really do much, and I had to stop doing photography. But now I'm here at this other waterfall. This is called Buttermilk Falls, and there's nobody here pretty much. It's a pretty nice waterfall, and I've got some leaves in the foreground as well, so I'm going to do some long exposure stuff here as well. So for this scene, it's gotten so dark already since it's close to sunset that I don't need a 6-stop neutral density filter. I'm at about 10 seconds, which is long enough to get the effect I want. And I also don't want a polarizer because I have this interesting reflection from the white water over there. And I also have a log and a little pattern of leaves in the foreground. So yeah, I think it'll turn out good. So my composition, I've got this little piece of log to the right. Then there's kind of this arc of yellow and orange leaves. And then I have the waterfall and the reflection of the waterfall, which points down into the log. So it's a tighter shot, and I might play around with it a bit more, but I think it'll turn out nicely.
And we start feeling bad. So we're moving on. Yeah, we're moving on. Yeah, we're moving on. Yeah, we're moving on.